Hello, everybody. I did it. I broke down. I did it. I'm so sad. Whereas I thought I could handle the energy consumption with the system I had and not go nuclear, I was wrong. When it comes to doing the ingots of ingots, running the arc, electric arc, the melty thing. Yeah, the electric melty thing sucks away too much power. Please don't judge me for what you're about to see. There it is. The beast. And why do I call it a beast? Because it's ugly. It's really ugly. It's a terrible, terrible build in a lot of ways, but it's done. So, without any more ado, let's go take a look at this monstrosity. So the first thing I had to do was set up a seed power system. I started with one of these, and one was not near enough. It took 4 to start loading into the cube. Well, I don't even have it routed into the cube at this point. That's like not very bright. Let's fix that. There we go. Now we're getting that routed into the cube as well. From the cube, we went into this bank of things. So we have a never-ending sulfur. We have an ore extractor to pull it out. We have a crafter to make it into sulfur. The sulfur then goes into the chemical oxidizer, gets turned into sulfur dioxide, which then, and let me tell you, these Mekanism things are not super easy in some ways to tell what side goes to what. But we go into this chemical infuser with the sulfur dioxide. We have oxygen that we've pumped over. Thank God we built those electrolytic separators over there. So we took all the excess oxygen, we brought it over, and that pumps out sulfur trioxide and goes into another chemical infuser with water vapor to make sulfuric acid. And the water vapor comes from the rotary condensator. So we had to bring a water source over. And then we had to bring a lot of water sources over because that was huge to fill. Now we take our sulfuric acid gas and we come over here to the chemical dissolution chamber where we are going to combine with fluorite to make hydrofluoric acid, which comes up and over here into the second part of our system, which has both uranium and ender quartz. Again, going up into tiers, or into a crafter here, and here the uranium goes up, gets turned into ingots, goes into an enrichment chamber to get turned into yellow cake. The yellow cake is then split in 2 directions. One is over here to get into the crafter to get turned into fluorite, which goes back to create the hydrofluoric acid. The other is to go up here where you have your hydrofluoric acid and your uranium oxide, which are combined to make uranium hexafluoride, which comes over here and into the isotropic centrifuge, which spins out the uranium hexafluoride to come up with fissile fuel. Fissile fuel is what this beast runs on. Now that is by and large an ugly, terrible build. It was put together piecemeal. The only part that actually looks organized is the stack to process the uranium here. Everything, oh my God, this is a mess, and I haven't come up with a better way to stack it yet. Tack this on here, come over here, pump some fuel in, got water, and it was taking forever to fill this. But I actually probably have too much water now that the whole system is established. I could take a couple of those down if I wanted to. So we got our water, we got our fissile fuel. We're getting a lot of nuclear waste that we need to do something with. I'll probably just make a fluid trash can. Current temperature is 215.9 degrees, which is, you know, it's just barely making steam. We look at our stats. You come down here, and I'll tell you what I did. If you remember, this was a tad smaller when it was inside. I added 2 more stacks onto the fuel column because I wasn't getting hardly any steam. But then come to find out, you can adjust the burn rate. And I can adjust this all the way up to 8. And you know what happened when I turned it up to 8? I filled up every one of these energy cubes in a matter of a couple seconds. So now I've got it down here at 0.1. So it's just trickling along. And it's making steam, and it's making so little steam, it's barely turning the rotors. But I'm getting 5.69 kilojoules, or 2.27 KFE, depending on how you want to look at things. I like redstone flux better. I think this is an equivalent to redstone. 2.27 KFE per tick. That's a chunk of energy. It's not huge, but it's enough, I'm hoping, to keep things running. I'm going to start up my industrial arc furnace over here again and see if I can deplete the system of power at this setting. If I can always kick it up a little bit. But that's how things are working. The only thing I need to do now is pop in another reactor port. Actually, do I have to? I think I've got one. No, I don't. I can tuck one back here. Reactor port. Put a port in here. We're going to get a liquid trash can and get rid of all that nuclear waste, because right now I am not dealing with it. And that pretty much is it for this complex. Power comes out. Oh, this is what you need to know. If you're putting one of these together, you have to attach your return water to these vents. It will not go in a port. You can't set a port. It's a royal pain. It has to come out of these vents and then go into a port. And your steam has to come out of a port, which has the appropriate color for extraction, and go into a port over here, and you have to use the pressurized tubes. A lot of the wikis and stuff have this wrong. It is no longer one of these, the mechanical pipes. It is now the pressure pipes. So, yay, there's your little helpful hint for the day. So I'm going to go back inside, I'm going to go to work, and we're going to go make some ingots and try and get through the ingots requirement that I have to do. Netherite has been a huge concern. I'm sucking through that like nobody's business. So right now we're producing gold so that I can have plenty of gold. Yeah, I should have only taken 5. I can only do 5 at a time. Really need to get a chest up there. There we go. So I wound up having to, yeah, you get back out of there. We're just going to take this batch. No cheese. Quit taking the cheese. I know it's yellow. We'll take that upstairs. I wound up making a bunch more of the budding debris and forgot this was on, so now I have a ton of this stuff to use up. That's going to be probably the next project before I start running this full power. And let's go up, because these actually have to go through one of these. It's another thing that slows things down. More smooth stone. I don't need that anymore. I have it at 20 now. How we doing? We're at 32 on the charcoal. No charcoal. I got glass. I'm going to have to get some charcoal. There's some wood actually up here to start again. That's pretty much it. I got a little maintenance to do, and then we'll start cranking out the ingots again and move on to shards, which I'm going to have to probably set up another crusher is what I'm thinking. So I'll take everything that comes off this side, run it through one crusher, take everything that runs through this side, run it through the original crusher, and as you can see right now, it's all debris on this side. It won't get me all the shards, but it will get me the bulk of them. And I can add in the next batch slowly to the system. But hopefully, we'll get this filled with ingots, and then we can get this filled with shards. That should put us in good shape. I gotta head off to work. Yay. Make some real money. Yay. Again, do everything you need to do for YouTube to help me out, please. Do the likes, do the jingles, do the dance, sing the song, write a comment, a nice comment. We don't do bad comments here. We don't do nasty comments. Write a nice comment, and I hope you enjoy it all. Bye.